don't you think this angle makes you look like...
Do we look Bella Hadid today?
You know, like old people, whenever they take selfies, they take it from so high
I get it. I get it. No, I don't know why I was doing that.
I used to make fun of them, and then once I did it like that, and I was like, I look so good.
I love when you go, that's so cute. I love it.
I have been dying to tell you a story.
I have been dying to hear your story because I love when you tell me stories.
Can I say something?
Say it. I hope it's a really good story.
Okay, well now that's so much pressure.
No, but I love your stories. You've never told me a bad story.
Thank you. Okay. So, do you know when sometimes you talk to a friend about like things that happened a long time ago and it spurs other stories?
Yeah.
That you're like, I haven't thought about that in so
I love when
long.
that happens.
That's a drug to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to my friend. We went to elementary middle school together.
Okay.
And she was like, don't you think it was like kind of messed up when, so.
Already giggling.
In 4th grade, we used to, elementary school was like a time for me. Okay. I loved it.
Okay.
We used to have this like Americana festival. That's like exactly what it was called. Actually, I pulled that from the depths of my soul.
Wow. Okay.
Where we would dress up as people from the olden days in America, and we would have a scene that we were enacting.
Ooh.
And everyone was enacting a different scene on the lawn, and the parents would come and walk around, and you were not allowed to break character. Okay?
That's a lot of pressure for a 4th grader.
And for me,
yeah.
I love breaking character. Like,
you love breaking the fourth wall. You love breaking things in general.
You're famously not an actor. Okay? And like, if you were doing the dishes, like, you couldn't crack a smile because the women who were doing the dishes like weren't. So you had to like be
That's
really
crazy.
Isn't that insane? Here's what's even crazier. Once they did it and it was about Thanksgiving, or it was, I don't remember what it was about, but they made all the brown people be the Indians, be the Native Americans, and they made all the white people
be the colonizers.
Be the colonizers. So it's like a bunch of 4th graders reenacting colonization, and you couldn't choose what you wanted to be. So if a brown person was like, I want to be, well,
I want to be a colonizer.
Well, they wouldn't call that. They would call them like settlers.
Of course.
Which in 4th grade, you're like,
duh, that's what it was.
I want to be a settler so bad.
Yeah, of course you want to be the settler.
I wanted to be a settler so bad. I don't know if that's messed up, but I really did.
Yeah.
Because they would wear these white wigs with the curly hair. And I thought, man, I'm going to look so good.
Wait, but what did you have to wear instead?
Just my normal hair because the Indians would have my hair. Also, famously, the Indians got less resources for their costumes.
On purpose?
I don't know, but something to think about.
Wait, tell me your costume. Like, what was it?
Oh, it was like as stereotypical as you can imagine. Like, imagine like a Pocahontas Halloween costume.
And were you acting? What was your role?
Were you
getting colonized?
I was washing clothes. Here's the thing about me. Horrible actress, so they didn't give me speaking lines.
Is this the same teacher?
No, famously. Different
joking.
teacher. Same year. This must have been within a year.
Is it because you were in California and they were so Hollywood and they're like, guys, like, act,
I don't think
sing.
so, because it wasn't LA.
But personally, to me, like, none of this has ever happened.
You never had to reenact any part of history?
No.
In elementary or middle school?
Not in like an acting way. Like, we learned about it. I do remember there was a really problematic like slavery reenactment.
Okay, so you did. How did?
But the parents didn't come. It was just for us.
I think that still counts as problematic.
Yeah,
though.
no, it was so problematic.
What was it?
Basically, it's actually so
And at
fucked
the
up.
time, you think it's normal, right?
I thought it was so normal. You got to get out of class, and some of the teachers, you'd go to like all the different teachers, you'd be like friend or foe, and the teachers either like were like nice to slaves or they were gonna like put you back into slavery.
What?
It was like literally crazy. And like, lest we forget, this was like suburban Illinois, all white kids.
And no one was like, hey.
And I'm like, there were a couple black kids, and like, imagine how uncomfortable they probably were.
Oh my god. We also just don't learn about slavery as how bad it actually
That's
was.
what I'm saying.
It's
At
so
all.
glossed
It's
over.
so like almost like this like fairy tale version of it.
It's like this happened and it's
and they were like cleaning the floors, and then we all said we're sorry, and Abraham Lincoln was it's like,
yeah, Abraham Lincoln was the savior.
right. Insane. It's insane.
Now looking back at things they made us do,
Even things they taught us that are not really fully correct.
oh yeah,
It's like the American school system is so like centered around America.
And we're always the good guy.
Always.
America is always the good guy. And America's always correcting
They
its
always
problem
leave
right
out the
away.
parts where we fucked up. It's insane.
Also, they always make things that are bad in black and white. And it's like, no, color photography existed at this point.
But you want to make it look farther back.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
Oh my God. And then this also happened in 4th grade. I guess 4th grade was a big time.
Big
for
year
me.
for you.
Huh.
In a bad way.
I was happy. Crazy thing.
Not the singing.
Well, yeah, that like ruined my day for a day. But
Okay.
you're resilient as a kid.
Yeah. I don't think I was.
Yeah.
But you do still talk about it, so it did affect you. The singing thing.
Well, let me say something, which is that I was a bully.
Really?
I wasn't a nice girl.
Have you ever told me that?
I don't know. I wasn't a nice girl.
I can't picture you as a bully.
I wasn't the.
Tell me more.
I would. Oh my God, do I have a story for you?
I'm scared.
One of my best friends to this day, named Sarah. At the time, we were not best friends. We both had jump rope gangs, which I know sounds so intense. It was basically 2 different groups of people that jump roped.
That's fun. I loved jump roping. When there were like the 2
double dutch.
Oh, that was so.
Girl, do I know about double dutch?
You were doing it.
Loved.
Oh, that's so fun.
Jump rope. Bring back jump rope.
We would need another person to do the.
Do you think there's machines now?
Probably.
Oh, that's
takes
so
away
fun,
the childlike
though.
fucking wonder.
Something about us, we love our childlike wonder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I loved jump roping.
Okay, so you were in a jump rope gang.
Yes, and the people who jump roped with me could never jump rope with her because we were sworn enemies. And the people who jump roped with her could never jump rope with me. And there was this one girl who wanted to join my little clique, my jump rope clique, my GRC, if you will. JRC, if you will.
I literally didn't get. I was like, "Yep, GRC."
I could have said any letters to you, and you would have been like,
I have bad letter processing in my brain. That's something that's
all
going
day. You've
on.
been trying to make acronyms, and you're like,
A, W. Like I don't get it.
Well, not that I did a great job. Though.
No, you're good at it anyway.
This one girl really wanted to be in my JRC, and I was like, no. And she went crying to Sarah, crying, sobbing, me like. She didn't let me. And Sarah was the nice one. I was the devil. She was the angel. Sarah was like, don't worry. Like,
so you
I'll
were
take
in
you
charge?
I was in charge of mine. She was in charge of hers.
How did you start it?
I don't remember, but like, businesswoman.
Yeah, true. But you're running it.
Oh my God, I feel so bad now. I think I DM'd her in 9th grade or something. And I was like, hey, by the way, sorry.
If you ever want to jump rope, let me know.
Yeah. Isn't that messed up? But now, Sarah, one of my best friends.
Really?
Yeah. We ended up going to elementary, middle, high school together.
And you made amends at some point?
Once we were washing our hands in the bathroom in 8th grade, and I looked over at her and I was like, are we cool now?
You're so... Wait, you have so much lore that I don't know.
And then she was like, yeah. Apparently Sarah tells a story on first dates. Because it makes her look so good.
Because she was the nice one?
She was the nice one. Anyone who I said no to would go to her, and Sarah would take her in.
Why did you say no to people?
I just thought, like...
They didn't have what it took.
I just thought if everyone is a part of it, then it's not as exclusive.
Honestly, marketing.
No, but it's so messed up. I hate that about me.
Were you like... I feel like you would have bullied me if we were in the same age grade.
No, I would have fallen madly in love with you.
No, I was such an easy target. I was famously bullied. Always. I don't know what it is about me that yells like bully me, but everyone wanted to bully me.
But you know what it was for me is I was insecure, which is why I was acting
like that. Well, so was I. So,
but like the insecurity comes out in different ways for different people, I think.
I was so shy. If anyone looked at me, I turned bright red. Like I was so scared of being like perceived in any way. I have this
ginger trauma. You wanted to.
Oh, well, that's a whole thing. I was going to say, when you talk about the jump roping of it all, I have this memory of like...
Please don't cancel me, you guys. I'm not the same
girl
girl
you're
I was.
So sweet. You're the sweetest girl alive.
I'm not everyone the same girl I was 2 decades ago, I promise.
Everyone has an origin story. I remember... This is like... I have such a bad memory of my childhood, as we've talked about, but I remember like recess, and there's like the concrete part where people are jump roping and stuff. I'm like remembering that. Yeah. And I remember I was really little. Like I was very short. I was shorter than everyone else. And then
really?
Isn't that weird? Like people made fun of me for how short I was for so long. And then one summer I grew like a foot overnight. My body hurt so bad. It was
those pains.
Those leg pains. It was the worst.
Going to sleep at night and you're like, my whole body.
I almost did that thing I did in the first episode. I think we cut it. Spina bifida. What is that thing?
Oh, scoliosis. I did it this time.
Scoliosis.
Scoliosis.
I have scoliosis, and the doctor said it's because I grew so much so fast, and my spine kind of got freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I was really, really short, and I remember people would like pick me up to be like, she's so small, we could pick her up. Like unconsensually picking me up. One of them dropped me on my head on the concrete.
Oh, that explains a lot.
No, it's true. I just remember being in the bathroom sobbing.
Oh my God.
I think they had to call my mom and say I got to go home that day.
You loved going home.
Oh my God, were you in the nurse every day? Or was that a me thing? I was in the nurse.
You were in the nurse, Madeline?
Nurse's office.
I was in the nurse every day.
You know what I mean. Nurse's office.
You
weren't.
Think about my personality.
Did you ever go to the nurse's office?
I think in my 12 years of school, I went one time.
I think I went at least once a week.
I loved being in class so much.
We're so different. Because think about me. Like, this was pre-ChatGPT.
Oh, girl,
So I had an ailment. I have to go to the nurse. I had to go to the nurse.
You're always getting an ailment. Imagine you in class being like, wait, what if I have perioral dermatitis? You
Literally.
love having like a thing.
The girl who's always coming down with something, that's me. I would be in class, I think I have a fever. Teacher, I have to go to the nurse. And I remember I'd like hold my breath and try to make myself hot so bad so that it would say I had a fever so I could go home. I hated being at school.
Because you were bullied. I loved
Yeah.
class because I could. Here's the crazy
So you
thing.
could bully people?
No, I wasn't bullying people in class. I wouldn't do it around teachers. That's like bullying.
You're too smart for that.
Yeah. No, I loved flirting with boys in class. Isn't that messed up?
Oh, we're so different.
Because I'm straight and you're gay.
If a boy looked at me, I almost had a panic attack. But I thought I was just nervous.
Well, you might have also been nervous.
I was.
Yeah.
I was very nervous.
I think every boy I went to elementary school with at some point, if I sat
had a
next
crush
to them,
with you?
I had
Or
a
had a crush
crush
on you?
them.
Oh.
Yeah.
But they probably had one on you back.
I'm sure they did. I'm fucking charming.
Yeah. I wish I could meet little you so
I don't think you would like her very much.
Well, not when these stories. You're sounding like a bully to me. But like for some reason I'm like, you're allowed to be a bully.
Post 14, I love myself. Pre 14, some weird things.
And everyone
happening.
had flaws.
Yeah. I have an arc.
Yeah.
Sue me.
That's
Sue me
why
as
you
a
are
arc.
the way you are.
Okay, but I need to tell you another story.
Okay.
Which is that in not the high school I went to, but most of my friends, a lot of my friends went to my public high school. I ended up going to like this
Sorry.
all-girl.
I'm thinking about.
Were you thinking about you being like, I have perioral dermatitis? Because I can't stop thinking about that. I can't stop thinking about you and Cass
Picture
raising.
little me.
Like, hey, like a mosquito bit me and I might be getting malaria. So like, can I?
Hey, I ate praline.
Wait, we need to tell this story.
Sorry I interrupted you.
No, we actually. Okay. Well, one time I knew Madeline had never had Szechuan chicken, which is like, it makes your mouth like a little
Well,
numb.
praline was first, so should we tell them that first?
No, it was later in the night.
Okay, this is what happened. We went and got ice cream.
At Jenny's. I love Jenny's. I don't mind
At
saying
Jenny's, famously love Jenny's, and Jenny loves you.
Mhm.
And they were like, hey, do you want to come try our new fall flavors? We're like, yes. So like we got things we wouldn't have picked necessarily because they were the new fall flavors.
And anytime Madeline was like, oh, maybe I want to get a different flavor, I was like, no, you're getting the fall flavor because it's free. Like,
yeah, we had to get the fall flavors, even though famously I don't like fall flavors that much. But I was like, okay, fine.
And you kept saying like, oh, maybe I'll pay, like I'll get something else. I was like, no. You're getting the free flavor.
So we got the free flavors, which is very nice of them. Thank you, Jenny. Shout out. And we get home, we're like eating, watching Princess Protection Program, having
PPP.
like PPP, having the best night. All of a sudden, I start to feel a little itchy. I start like feeling itchy. And at first I'm like, it's fine.
And when you start to get anxious, you don't tell me. You just get really quiet. Like eerily. You start to go.
But sometimes we're just watching the movie, so maybe you didn't think much of it.
Yeah, because you're just watching a movie.
Yep. So I'm starting to itch myself. Scratching. Then it's getting bad. I'm really itchy, and then my throat's closing up. I'm starting to feel the itch in my throat. I can't tell if I can breathe all the way. And I'm like, hey, I don't want to concern you, but I've I've never had a praline.
And one of the flavors was sweet potato pecan praline or something. Yeah. It was like a crazy flavor.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, so I've never had praline before, and I think I might be allergic. I'm having an allergic reaction.
And something about me, I'm always gaslighting you.
That's what I was gonna say, because I'm the fucking girl who cried wolf, because now, and that's what's even adding to my anxiety, because I'm like, no one's gonna listen, and this is actually real this time, and I'm gonna die here, because everyone thinks I'm just being anxious, and I'm fucking allergic to praline.
Well, I knew that time it couldn't be it, because you had maybe one bite of it, and you've definitely had praline before.
Yeah, I don't know.
You probably have.
I don't know why I was so itchy. I think I was actually making myself itch with my mind.
Yeah.
I was freaking out.
No, I think maybe you itched one time, and then your anxiety was like,
praline.
Why'd you itch? And the anxiety made you feel like, wait, my throat's closing, but that would have been the panic attack about the first itch.
Yeah.
You know, it was just, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's a positive feedback loop.
Yeah.
But something about me, I'm always being like, no, you don't.
I know.
I know.
And then sometimes I can be like, yeah, you're right. But that time I was like, no, Mal. Call 911. I need an ambulance.
Mm-hmm.
But I was fine.
You ended up being
Ultimately,
fine.
I was fine. I'm not allergic to praline. How did we get here?
Well, another time I was gonna make you Sichuan chicken, and then I had to tell you immediately. I was like, hey, your mouth is going to go.
Well, you're like, have you ever had I still can't say Szechuan?
Szechuan. It's, yeah,
I'm
pretty
ever
sure
had Szechuan chicken? I was like, You're like, okay. Your mouth is gonna get tingly. I was like,
tingly
what do you mean?
And numb.
Numb. That's the word you use. And then I started freaking out because I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah. But
So
you had a bite.
No, not only did I have a fucking bite, you made me eat a full pepper by itself.
That wasn't me.
That wasn't you.
That wasn't
Someone
me.
in the room made me eat a full fucking pepper. And you're like, yeah, do it. And I'm like, I have to tell you something I've never told you.
Tell me you hated it?
No, not that I hated it. Okay. Here's what happened.
Did you like throw the pepper behind?
Here's what happened. I put the pepper in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only sucking it. I'm like, guys, it's not bad. I also, like, mind you, want to be like, I don't want to be like, yeah, guys, I can't eat this. I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm like sucking on it. I'm like, it's fine. You guys are like, oh, did you bite it yet? I'm like, no, I didn't bite it yet.
I didn't think the pepper was a good idea, famously.
Yeah, it
wasn't.
wasn't.
The other man in the room did.
I think it did help me prepare me for the chicken.
Okay.
But it was freaking me out. So then I bite the pepper, and famously my mouth started to do the numb thing. It was like Pop Rocks from nature. Like, it was crazy. And I just, like, really didn't want it in my mouth anymore. So I took it and I put it in my purse. I think it's still in my purse. I think it's still in my purse. And I didn't tell anyone. I was like, oh, I finished it. It was so good. Szechuan chicken. I love it.
I really want to be a safe space for you, but I keep putting you in positions.
That wasn't your fault.
That wasn't my fault. But did you?
I actually liked the chicken, though.
Thank you. That's what I
Because when you eat a full pepper,
that was a bad idea.
the chicken, though, is like not even anything.
But wasn't the chicken tasty?
It was so
be
good.
honest,
It was
you
so
actually
good.
liked it?
I really liked it. Yeah, I swear to God. I would have ate it plain. You guys made it for me plain.
Mhm.
I preferred because it was too plain.
Yeah. And the other man in question in the room was like, no, she'll be fine. Like, don't tell her. Surprise her.
Have you met her? If my mouth started going numb
No.
unconsensually, I would have been like, oh my God, I'm super tired. I have to go. Drove myself to the hospital.
I know.
Like, can't stress that enough.
I know that about you. So you see, from my perspective, I'm trying my best.
You're doing such
to
a good
not
job.
gaslight you.
You've never been wrong. I've never died.
I know. I don't want you to feel like I don't take your pain seriously. And
You
I don't think
shouldn't.
It's valid. Sometimes I just know. Like, even with the rash around your nose.
I
knew it
was
wasn't
telling
going
everyone
to
I had a
kill you.
rash. Yeah.
Like, I knew it wasn't going to be 911 level. So I might as well.
That was more of a vanity issue for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fine now.
It
was always fine.
It was always, even from a vanity issue, like, maybe it's because I've had acne.
I've never had acne.
Yeah.
No, I got humbled real quick.
With a little, like, light redness around your
Yeah,
nose.
because I was like, oh, acne's not that big of a deal, guys. It's fine. No, having any kind of, because it's your face.
Yeah.
And you're looking at people and you can't hide your face. And you're
Oh my
so
God.
fucking aware of it.
The worst my mental has ever been was one breakup I had with, like, my best friend that killed me. I literally thought I was gonna die. My second worst mental was when my acne was really bad. Like, I would wake up in the morning, and before I even opened my eyes, I'd be like, oh my God, where on my face does it hurt? Like, where am I gonna have a pimple? And the first thing every single morning, I would look in the mirror and be like, oh my God. Like, I would pick at my skin for hours a day. To this day, I have a skin picking problem, but I would pick at my skin like nothing I've ever done, and it becomes like obsessive.
Yeah.
It becomes really crazy. I couldn't go anywhere without only thinking like, oh my god, people are just looking at my acne. They're looking at my. It was so bad. Like my skin was peeling and it was red and it was the worst.
It probably hurt.
I fully get it, but I do think with skin stuff it does help when someone looks at you and goes, I can't see anything.
Yeah. To be fair, I've never looked at someone else and been like,
hey, he's like
in love with you right now.
This is huge for me.
Yeah, he's kind of trying to hold your hand. For those listening, we're talking about Frog and Toad.
Yeah.
I've been trying to be better about doing that. For all the listeners of the Kiss Pod.
We love and we are grateful and
for every single one of you. I've never looked at someone and be like, ugh, their skin is so gross, like ever. But when it's happening to you, you're like, oh my god, like it just feels so awful. Yeah. It's fine. It wasn't that big of a deal. I don't know how our conversations are working because you were gonna tell me a story.
The second story that I need, I have been saving
fourth
this
grade
for a month. This
God,
isn't my
it's
own
killing
story,
me. Oh.
But I like but I need to tell you.
Tell me.
Okay. I forgot this happened, but the high school I live really close to wasn't the high school I ended up going to. I like fell in love with this all girls high school, whatever. We know my lore, but
okay.
A lot of my friends went there, and one week I remember them so clearly telling me, "Oh, it's car crash week." What? I was like, hey guys, so what does that mean? Because my school personally didn't have car crash week.
I have to say something. In the master doc for months it said car crash week, and I've been dying to know what that means. So this is huge for us.
Because I was like, we can't fit it into like any other episode. Like imagine me mid-Gaylor episode being like, have to tell you about car crash week.
Or me like crying about my fucking mental health, and you're like, and this one time in car crash week, like it's never fit.
So I was like, wait, remind me like what car crash week is, because I didn't want to be like, we
don't have that.
Yeah. And they had, and I wish I was making this up, okay? To like prevent drunk driving when all the kids turn 16, so I guess like sophomore, junior year, they would stage a car crash in the parking lot of their high school. Okay. Like a fake car crash, and there's like a bottle of alcohol out. So it's like, oh, they were drinking, they had this car crash.
That's exactly how it usually goes. Yep.
And 4 of the students, real students from the high school class, would be in it and be quote unquote dead.
Wait, did they get crashed, or was it just that was the fake part?
It was all fake.
Okay. There was no like crashing of 2 cars in the parking lot.
No, they showed it. Okay. There was this like fake car crash. Okay. And they said these are the 4 students that have died in the car crash.
Jeez.
And I guess people knew they weren't real. Whatever. It is traumatizing.
Yeah.
To be like, 4 of my classmates are no longer here.
Yeah.
And so those 4 students for the week would stay in a hotel. Like the high school would house them away so they wouldn't be in class and stuff. So everyone had to feel their presence missing.
Yeah.
So everyone would
go Oh my god. Oh my god.
Isn't that insanity?
How did they pick the kids?
I can't remember.
I hope they were kids people liked, because at first I was like, I'd volunteer, but then I was like, no one would miss me.
I would miss you.
Oh, thanks.
But yeah, I think they had to choose popular kids.
Oh
honestly.
My god.
And people wanted it because then they could just not go to school.
Right.
Which is...
Who wouldn't want to be that kid?
But isn't that... I mean, who came up with this idea?
That's insane. In Illinois, we also had a traveling troupe of people that were preventing kids from drunk driving, but it was not that.
What was yours doing?
Wait, was it a day or a week they sat out?
I think it was a week. It was multiple. Insane. It was either 2 days or 4 days.
Oh my god.
But it was more than a day.
That's
and their
crazy.
parents were informed that they'd be staying in this hotel. Like, why couldn't they just stay at home?
Hotel? To punish the parents too?
I don't know.
You know they were up to no good in that hotel.
Oh my! Imagine being one of the 4 kids.
I would be. That's a movie.
Should we always something about us? We're always writing a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no one plot. There's like a lot of little side plots.
And no one's ever written the movie. We just say, that's a movie. And then we never talk about it again.
But one day we will.
One day we will. One day it'll stay.
We have a lot of good ideas. And it's going to have a lot of good side plots. Totally. And really strong characters.
Super, super strong characters.
One great thing about when you were dating heavily, we were meeting a lot of inspiration.
That's true. I need to make sure I pressed record. That freaked me out. Okay, so this is what happened at my school. Drunk driving. Which honestly love that schools are so worried about drunk driving, because like, that's for the best. Mm-hmm. In our drivers, or I think it was our health class.
Can I say something else?
Yeah.
The most I've ever wanted to do drugs was during Dare Week. They made it sound so cool.
Really? I was terrified.
Okay, so it worked on you.
It worked on me.
We were really different kids. I'm learning.
How are we friends?
I don't know, but it's perfect and I love it so much.
Yeah.
Did they make you make those presentations of like different like the ways a drug makes you feel and
I
they
was
present it.
terrified.
But they make it sound so good. It's like you get a head rush and you feel euphoric. It's like, oh.
But then it was like, and then your whole, like, you die and everyone in your family misses you and you ruin your whole life. I was like, yeah, hating that part.
Hating that part
It
as
worked
well.
on me.
To be clear, hating that part, and it prevented me from doing, I don't think that prevented me from doing the drugs. I
Yeah.
think that was just other parts of my life.
Yeah.
But the most I've ever wanted to partake.
That's crazy.
Dare Week.
I so didn't feel that way.
Okay, good.
I
Glad
was
it was
such a
working.
goody two shoes. It worked on some people. Me.
Mhm.
So in my health class, this was, yeah, because I had like a weird health class teacher where we were learning about drugs. This was not that. This was a different health class, but there was a drunk driving week, but we got drunk goggles. Have you ever worn those?
Yes.
That was so weird.
That was weird. I don't think it feels
That's
like
not
drinking.
realistic at all. And you'd have
Mm-mm.
to like walk around, which first of all, you're not walking, you're driving. That makes literally no sense. But they're like, imagine trying to drive a car like this. And they're like, it's so unrealistic.
So strange.
But to me, so this is the story that all just reminded me of. I had this fucking group of friends, quote unquote, hear me out. Because Madeline, you're always crying about not having friends. Hear me out. I had
I'm locked in.
yeah. Well, have I ever told you about my best friend in 5th grade?
No.
It's my trauma. I say that about everything. I had the best friend I've ever had until I met her. So my parents, I also might cry. I'm really emotional. My parents got divorced. I moved. I had no one. Obviously, I'm like in a new town, whatever. I also already didn't have friends and wasn't super good at making friends. So I was like, well, fuck. Now I have to start over. But I thought that being the new kid would be kind of like a leg up for me. Because you know how the new kid was always kind of like cool?
Yes.
I
Oh my
was
God.
really excited to be the new kid. Didn't go how I wanted it to.
But even
that's
in
fine.
your 20s, like new girl sexiness exists.
It
That's why I
does.
love moving to a new city.
I was just gonna say I want to move to LA and be like the fresh meat, the new girl on the island.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I moved. I was like, fuck. My uncle was friends with this man who lived like one street back from our new house, and that man had a daughter my exact age. So everyone was orchestrating like Madeline needs a friend so desperately, because not only did I not have friends, but my parents just got divorced. I was just like really sad.
Worried about
There was just a lot
you.
going on. So they're like, Madeline needs a friend. So they kind of like set me up with this girl. I'll never forget. I go to her house. She was like,
That's a movie.
I'm gonna cry. I love like a weird girl. Wait, everything's clicking for me. You know how I love people that are like manic pixie dream girl
Yeah.
in this way where they have this quirk and I'm like, I'm obsessed with you.
Yeah.
This girl was so out of a fucking John Green book.
Mm.
Like I got over, she wasn't like bothered to like be like, hi, oh my god. She was like sitting on her floor cutting up her jeans, like sewing these like new little outfits together. I was like, coolest girl I've ever met. And she had a hamster, and I was like, oh my god, this girl's so fucking cool. I don't know why I thought she was so cool.
Oh,
And we became
this is still how you are. I'm gonna cry.
yeah, because
Oh
that's
my
how we became friends. Is I was so scared. I'm always scared. It's the people that like keep being my friend that I'm like, okay. But we became she was my best friend I've ever had, like other than you. Like we became so fucking close. Like every single day I went over. Every day we'd had sleepovers every night. Like it was to the point where with her mom I felt so comfortable. Like she was my mom. Like I was like a little shit at their house. I would just walk in. Like it was so nice to have a friend.
Oh, I'm thinking about little Madeline with her big smile. Oh,
I'm gonna start crying. This isn't
It's
supposed to be a
okay.
sad story.
no, that's okay.
Oh my god. Okay, so we were in 5th grade together. So fun. Then we had to go to separate middle schools because of something, because she went to
Yeah.
like a charter school and I went to the fucking public middle school.
Mhm.
So we went to separate middle schools, but it was still fine because we were still like neighbors. Like I could walk to her house. So I'd still see her like every day after school, and like all of summer we were hanging out. Then high school happened, where the charter school and my middle school and all the other middle schools merged into one high school.
Oh my god, I know what's about to happen.
And she had made new friends at her middle school, and they didn't want to be my friend. So I was like in the friend group, but no one liked me. Like it was the kind of
You
thing
can
where
feel it.
I knew when I left the room everyone was talking shit about me right away. Like I think to this day I have dreams about them all the time. Like I think this impacted me so much, and it's not that big of a deal, but like it just made me think that everyone hates me, because I was like, there must be some, I didn't do anything to those girls, so I was like, there must be something so inherently unlikable about me that no one's ever gonna want to be my friend. Because I was like, what did I do? Like, why don't they want to be my friend?
You did carry that with you, like literally till we met.
Yeah, I literally always, I was like, I have not had a best friend since 8th grade. What does that say about me? It's so embarrassing. Like I was like, I will never have a best friend again, but that's like a whole other thing about friendship in your adulthood is really beautiful too. But yeah, it was really, really awful. And I like tried so hard to fit in with these girls, but I just like wasn't meshing. Like it just and I also was like deeply depressed, and I wanted to go home and sleep every day after high school, and they wanted to hang out. And so the fact that I didn't hang out with them added to this like Madeline's so fucking weird vibe.
This like othering.
Yeah. So I remember there was this girl, I want to say their name so bad. I doubt they're watching the pod, but I won't say their name. There was this one girl.
You can rename her.
Okay, but her name is so perfect for her energy, but let's think of like a similar name.
Do Jessica.
Jessica was the new girl, maybe like halfway into freshman year. Like she was kind of always there, but she got there at a point where everyone was like, oh my god, have you guys met Jessica? And she was like, she looked exactly like fucking Rapunzel from the movie, with like big green eyes and long thick blonde hair, and she was so like hee and all the boys were obsessed with her and all the girls were obsessed with her, and I fucking hated her because I wanted to be her so bad, and she was in my little friend group, and I fucking hated that bitch, and she hated me back, and we just had so much drama. And everyone would have sleepovers at her house because her mom was weird and didn't give a fuck about anything, so everyone would sleep over her in her basement, and you could sneak out because there was like a sliding door, so everyone would always sleep over there and just sneak out.
Here's the thing, as a kid I wanted to have those sleepovers so bad, my parents wouldn't let me.
Good for them.
And now I'm like, oh good,
I wouldn't either.
I'm not letting my kids have sleepovers.
No sleepovers. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. And I was the kid that was like, can you call my mom and ask to pick me up? Like, I don't want to have a sleepover. I like my bed. I'm like that to this day. When people try to sleep over with me, I'm like, God, can you just leave? Like, oh my God. So, yeah, everyone was having sleepovers at fucking Jessica's house. And I remember one night, it was the core girls. Like, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us, or 6 of us. And, everyone at first they're like stealing her mom's alcohol and like drinking it, and I remember this is what made me think of it, because like the drunk driving thing, I was like, I've always wondered what it's like to be drunk because I'm so scared, so maybe this will prep me. Didn't make me want to be drunk. The goggles wasn't fun,
not fun at all, and not accurate.
No, but I didn't know that, so I was like, why would anyone want this?
Totally.
Like, that's not fun. So they're bringing out Jessica's mom's fucking bottle of vodka. I'm remembering the goggles.
Crazy.
I don't want it. I'm like so scared. I'm like,
was no one else paying attention to the goggles?
Right. Like, I'm like, am I the only fucking sane one in the room? You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
So then I remember, and Jessica had an older sister. It's always the ones with the older sister that are up to no good. Sorry to say. I'm always sister shaming because I'm jealous.
We're jealous.
Whatever. So Jessica's sister was sneaking out that night with her friend, and this boy was coming to pick them up, and they were like, guys, come with us. We're going to a party. Hell no. Can't stress this enough. No. You're
to this day you would be like, no.
Yeah.
And that's why we're friends, because we're both like, no.
No. Like, you're telling me a 16-year-old boy is gonna drive us? First of all, I knew at that time, I don't know if California is like this, in Illinois, until I think you're 18, you can't drive with more than one other person in your car, unless it's like parents. Like, you can't drive your friends
other minors
around.
Yeah, it's the same in California.
So like, first of all, illegal. No.
We are the same.
Also, it was past fucking curfew.
Illegal.
Lots of illegal activity going on. I knew for a fact this boy was drunk, and if he wasn't drunk there, he was gonna go get drunk at the party and then drive them home. There was no Uber. I was like, abso-fucking-lutely not. All of a sudden, my tummy's starting to hurt, guys. I don't think I can go.
You're the same. This is so funny.
I'm the same. I was like, oh, weird. My tummy is really hurting. They're like, oh my God, like, suck it up, like, come. I was like, guys, I don't think I can go. And they're,
were you kind of like, oh, I wish I could, but
yeah,
my
of course.
tummy. Yeah.
The acting was coming out.
Yeah.
They're like putting on their 2 push-up bras, tying up their tops, putting on the makeup.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have to go lay on the couch. I don't feel good.
Yeah.
This other girl, who is kind of the only girl that I kind of kept a friendship with. I really like her. Her name's Caitlin. She was like the smart girl.
Like, you're like, twist my arm, her name was Caitlin.
Twist my arm, her name's Caitlin with a K. Okay?
Last name, social security. You
right.
are willing to give information.
I am. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Caitlin with a K, she was so smart. Like, she was like AP, like in college in like sophomore year, like smart as fuck. And all the boys loved her in the way where the really smart boys, and she was like nerdy, like she loved like Star Wars and was always watching these documentaries about like quantum physics, and I think I had a crush on her, which I didn't realize until like recently. Well, whenever I reflect on the story, I think I also had a crush on Jessica, but that was like
totally the way you were describing Jessica, I could tell.
Yeah, there were a lot of crushes going on, but I didn't know that that's what that was.
Totally.
But Caitlin was also there, and she was like, yeah, my tummy hurts too, I don't think I can go. So these girls fucking go get in this car with a 16-year-old boy. Mind you, one boy, 6 girls. They were like sitting on each other's laps, like getting in the trunk. So illegal and dangerous. So when I have a kid, no. Hell no. If you're a 16-year-old girl watching this, don't do it.
But at the time, it doesn't
matter.
Like that.
I can't say that. It's going to make them want to do it more. I don't know what made me such a goody two shoes. Whatever my mom did in that regard, noted. Like she killed it.
I had such strict parents, which at the time I was like, I wish I didn't. And now I'm like, oh, that is it's good parenting.
Yeah, it is. Well, my mom was actually not strict at all. She was like, smoke weed, drink, whatever. And I think that's what made me not want to do it, because I was allowed. And I was like,
you're not trying to like
rebel.
Yeah,
I was like no, I'm anxious. Thank you so much.
And
it was the anxiety. Yeah. So then as soon as they left, Caitlin was like, are you actually sick? I was like,
wait,
no.
Caitlin sounds so hot.
She's everything. I was like, no. Are you? And she's like, no. They're fucking stupid. I was like, I would literally never get in a car with a drunk driving 16-year-old boy.
My God.
But they eventually came home and they were wasted, and they did all kinds of weird sexual things with older men at this party. And I was like, not for a second did I think, wish I went. Never.
It was also probably the not being straight sort of thing.
I never wanted to be around boys.
Yeah, you weren't like, oh, I want to kiss them.
I went home and told my mom, I was like, Mom, please don't tell anyone's parents, but I have to tell you that like these kids are bad and they did a bad thing and I'm so scared, and I stayed home.
Wait, what did she say?
She was like, okay, if you ever need me, call me. Like, if you're ever, because I was like, I'm so fucking scared people are gonna pressure me into something and I don't want to do it, and I was too scared to like just say no. And she's like, okay, just like text me a code and I will call you and say you have to come. Like, I was just like freaking out.
And that's also incredible parenting.
My mom kind of killed it with that. Yeah, because she actually didn't tell anyone, so it wasn't like she like betrayed my trust in that way, because then everyone really would have hated me if I tattled on them. So yeah, that was crazy. Hated those girls. I mean, not really.
What
Jessica
happened with Caitlin?
Caitlin, like, we were still friends for a while. Like, when I lived in LA, she came and visited me. I used to visit her in college. I had sex with her roommate. I went through this weird era with men where I like really wanted to have sex because everyone else was having sex, and I wanted my body count to be higher because I was embarrassed it was so low.
Oh my God.
And I didn't go to college properly, so I wasn't like having sex. So like this boy, it was so clinical. Like, I was like, everyone left the room, he put on a condom, we like did it for a second, and then it was over, and I was like, okay, and that's one more. That's a body.
Fun, yeah.
Like, literally, it was awful. His name was Clinton.
I didn't know that about you. Clinton with a C.
And she loved him, and I think he had a huge crush on her. She looked exactly like Emma Watson. She's like the cutest little girl.
Okay, you have to show me her later.
I will.
Becoming obsessed with her.
I haven't looked at her in years. I wonder what she looks like now.
Do you think she might be into women now?
I don't think so. I think she actually liked men.
Okay, which is, fine and respectable.
Yeah, no erasure of those kinds of people.
What age was this? Like, that party?
That was like, had to be sophomore year, if not freshman year.
Okay, so you're like 14, 15?
14, 15.
Girls are so crazy at that
age.
So
crazy. I was so scared.
Dude, at 13, I haven't thought about this in a while. It's crazy.
It's just how you started when you're like, you know, when people tell you stories.
So
I love
circle.
that part.
13. You know how I said, like, beat me, bully, 4th grade, 5th grade?
Yeah.
Fully reverses in middle school. Okay.
Okay. Middle school is the worst.
Middle school for girls is where self-esteem goes to die.
Yeah.
It was the worst. And I've told this story before. I'm telling it again. Our school had an Ask FM where every week they would rate the top 10 hottest girls. Oh,
and you were never on it.
I was never, not once on it. And you know what? That's fine.
Honestly, 10 is a small number.
We didn't have a huge school, but yeah, it is a small number. And
and
girls are beautiful.
Them.
Whatever. It's fine. I think it's so funny. We also had a burn book.
Physically?
Yep, there was a physical
It'd be
book.
passed around?
It was passed around. Horrible stuff about me in there as well. Middle school was horrible. We did go on 2 overnight trips in 8th grade.
Oh, yeah.
Which I have a lot of stuff to say.
What were yours? Where did you go?
One was, I don't know. It was like some forest in California.
Oh, weird. We
did 2 in 5th grade and 2 in 8th grade. The 5th grade one, I never thought about how weird this was. Oh my God, Madeline, we went to Angel Island, which I love. It's like right off the coast of San Francisco. You can like see the Golden Gate Bridge. Actually gorgeous. And we reenacted the war. We were little soldiers. Wait. Everyone from my elementary school can fully be like, yes, this happened. For months leading up to the Angel Island trip, during class, you would go outside into like the campus of the school, and you would practice left, right, left, and you had
your school loved performance. It sounds like a fucking performing arts school.
It's a public middle school.
What is
public
happening?
Elementary school. You had a platoon, so it was 5 of you.
Oh, I never knew that that's what platoon meant.
And I know because I was in a platoon of 5. Okay, it was like 3 of one gender, 2 of the other, like always. And each person had a job in the platoon. You had to wear navy blue. You go to Angel Island. It was this is insane. It was like a 3-night overnight trip.
Oh my God.
And during you learned how to fire a gun. It wasn't with an actual bullet. It was like empty.
Still.
But they were so heavy, like the big war guns.
This is feeling not very California.
I know. This again.
A war gun?
Public elementary school.
Oh my God, that's weird.
Can't stress
like, what is the life lesson of that?
Discipline, I guess, because hear me out. You also learned how to. Science camp was a different one. I loved science camp. The 2 trips were science camp and Angel Island. Science camp was all like fun and silly, and you kissed a banana slug. Did you ever kiss a banana slug? We had to kiss banana slugs.
Why?
I didn't do it. Because like there were a lot of banana slugs in that forest.
You had to kiss it? Is it good luck?
Maybe, but this is about Angel Island.
Okay, sorry.
Please stay with me.
Okay, I'm here.
Angel Island, you had to. Overnight, someone would wake you up and you had an hour-long shift in the middle of the night to watch over the rest of the kids. You would have to go outside.
So
there was no bathroom in the building. You had to, if you wanted to go to the bathroom, take one of those lamps and walk to the outhouse.
Alone?
Mm-hmm.
That's dangerous.
You had to take a buddy.
Okay, that's good.
And I remember in Angel Island, I slept next to a boy I had a crush on.
Not my God, they were letting kids sleep together?
You're each in your own sleeping bag.
Still, you could be up to no good.
I don't think anyone was up to no good.
That's insane.
But isn't this crazy? We were part of a platoon. My platoon famously won because there was some challenge.
Of course.
And you know me, I'm like,
you're a winner.
Left, right, left. Like,
but you say you're not Gryffindor?
No, I am not a Gryffindor. I'm a Slytherin. Wait, I am going to find a photo of me in the platoon, like, saluting. Also, you had to salute. Oh my God, it was so insane. Imagine little me shooting a gun.
I can't. Gun. You're so little. You're so baby.
Was, like, bigger than me. Isn't this crazy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good thing we're spending our resources on this as a country.
Totally.
Wow.
And then in 8th grade.
Yeah.
I was a pick-me in 8th grade. Like,
we all were. I was too.
I really wanted to be on that list of 10, if you can't tell.
I would too. Are you kidding me?
I
would do anything to be on the list of 10.
And my parents were like, hey, can you, like, maybe study for once in your life? And I was like, they didn't know that all in my head was, like, the list.
Aww.
Which is so funny.
Oh my God, once I had a math teacher, you know when your parents had to meet with teachers?
Yeah,
just, like,
parent-teacher conferences.
That's the word.
Yeah.
They were like, Madeline would be really good at class if she thought that this was school and not a fashion show. Rude and misogynistic.
And look at you now.
Yeah, I looked really sorry that I wore makeup because I wanted to be on the fucking list. We didn't even have a list. But anyway, that's to go to show that I would have wanted to be on the list too. Mm-hmm. So yes, I understand. Okay, keep going.
Wanted it so bad. I was just so different than I am now. Like, looking back on that little girl, I feel so much empathy for her, but what a weird kid.
Uh-huh.
I also remember, back to elementary school for 1 second. Yeah. The week we learned fractions, I had a crush on the boy sitting next to me, passed him notes the entire time, and then
still don't know how to do fractions.
Finally on the test, I remember I thought both the denominators, if they're the same, you add them together. To this day, that haunts me, because every time I look at a fraction, I think about that little girl.
Aww.
I know a lot about that boy, though.
Yeah, not much about fractions.
Fractions are hard.
They are. And
I can say that.
When
now.
is anyone doing fractions? I'm sure
Honestly,
wastewater
constantly.
Girl and all the rest of these people.
To be honest, I'm doing fractions often.
That checks out.
I think you forget I do math.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Love a fraction now. I think they're really fascinating.
I'm sure you're really good at them.
Sorry, now back to my...
Okay.
Sorry, I can't get one story out today.
I'm loving this.
Okay, so we are on this trip. I don't remember what the 8th grade trip is called, but it's basically you're out in a forest, and during the day you get paired with a bunch of random people and you're just like hiking, and then at night you stay in a cabin with 3 other people of your gender. And I had done it with 3 girls. All of these 3 girls were on that list. Okay, they were in my friend group.
That would freak me out.
At this point, I didn't think about it like that. I didn't think about it like competition
Good for you.
because they were my friends.
Yeah.
But during the trip, one of those girls, guy that she was interested in, like famously interested in, everyone in the school knew they were like kind of an item. He was in my hiking group. And we start becoming friends. We start, you have to talk when you're hiking together.
Right, what else are you going to do?
And there were like girls and guys in my hiking group, but I was like one of the boys. I don't know. That's
Because you weren't like other girls?
I think I just really honestly liked the guys in that group.
That's okay.
But I start becoming friends with the boy she likes. I don't like him. I didn't develop feelings or anything, but we start becoming like pals. Like in the evenings during dinner, he comes up to me and starts talking to me. I don't even think he liked me. I think we were just like hitting it off. She starts hating me. Keep in mind, we are in one cabin, the four of us.
Oh, no.
And eventually, they tell me, they're like, we know what you're doing. We can't talk to you for the rest of the trip. We were in a cabin together, Madeline. And I don't have a very vivid memory of this because I think I blacked it out. I also liked another boy during this time, whatever. I remember really vividly after that in the cabin, this sounds so dramatic, the three of them would sleep on one bed and I could hear them giggling and I slept in my own bed. And anytime I'd be like, hey guys, they'd be like, we don't have space on the bed. So I slept alone and I could hear them giggling all night about me. You know, when you can tell people are like,
yep, I sure do. That's the worst.
And all three, not all three, two of those girls to this day are always like, oh, when are you in town? We should hang out. You don't want to talk to me in the cabin.
Yeah.
And I remember.
Yeah. Did it ever get resolved?
No, I guess we all went to different high schools ultimately.
Okay. Oh, that's
it was like
so
fine.
sad. And now they just think you're friends after what happened in the cabin.
It's like, do you guys not remember the cabin?
Right.
Because I remember
you
the
remember
cabin.
the cabin.
I was there. I remember it all too well.
Uh-huh.
It was where I was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's my, oh my God, I haven't thought about that in so long.
Wow, that's so crazy.
It's crazy how these little things like shape
Stick
us.
with you. They're so little. That's why having kids is so scary. You do one thing wrong, they're talking about it on a podcast 20 years later.
I really think I've like moved on from my thing.
I haven't moved on. I'm right where you left me. I haven't moved on from anything ever.
That's what I love about you.
Thank you. Because I was going to say, it's actually kind of cute because remember I had such a thing for so long that I have no sense of self. When I look back, always been the same. Consistent character.
You really are.
I just couldn't see it.
You have a sense of self these days.
I do these days, but I've always been this. But I don't know why I used to be such a crybaby about not having a sense of self. But with my 8th grade overnight trips, I think one of them was like Washington, D.C. and the other was like maybe Springfield, Illinois. No, because that was a day trip because I did go to that. Every overnight trip, I was like, oops, we can't afford it, which we kind of couldn't, but also didn't want to be around those kids.
Yeah, I was for longer than you needed to.
I never wanted to be around those kids. I wasn't having fun. Like, that was like not for me.
Yeah, you're still like this. I'm
still like this. Like, I'm like, oh, to this day, if you guys were like, want to go to Washington? No, I don't want to go to Washington, D.C. I didn't even have FOMO. I like literally didn't care.
That's beautiful. I would take you to Washington, D.C. and you would have a fun time with me.
Yeah, I did go in my speech and debate. I went.
See?
And I was a bronze medal finalist.
Woo!
At the nationals.
That's amazing.
Thank you. I was super proud. I loved speech and debate. That's where I thrived. That socially. With the fucking nerds. I was the queen of the nerds.
You are a nerd. Ultimately.
I love nerds. That was also like my queer. A lot of nerds are queer. At least in speech and debate. I don't know what that is. The pipeline. It's there.
I think a lot of people are queer everywhere.
That's so true. I forgot. That's true. Yeah. Anyway. This was a fun episode.
Wait, finish.
What's the rest of my story?
Washington, D.C.
Oh, it was just that I didn't go. And I think it's funny because I still wouldn't go.
FOMO.
Like, I've always been like, I don't care. I don't want to go anywhere. I want to be home. I love being home. Even a little. No, I'm not going to say that.
Say it.
Even when I was in Korea, I was so grateful, but I was so excited to be back in my bed. I love it here. I love my bed.
That's why I'm a little scared. Okay, I'm breaking the fourth wall. This is our last week together for a while.
Should we tell them? It's so sad, you guys. I'm freaking out. Thank God we could talk about it.
Well, by the time this is out,
it's gonna be out in like 2 months.
So
you guys have no idea what we have gone through in the last 2 months.
Yeah, we don't even know.
We don't even know.
But right now, as we're filming this in the current present moment, this is our last week together, and then we might not see each other for a while.
And I'm gonna freak out.
But I'm
But why
scared
is
that
that-
you won't
yeah.
want to come see me because you don't like leaving. That was my
But that's so cute that you say that, because that's like that photo I put in our photo dump, which is like, home is where I feel safe, home is with you. So I will feel at home with you, I think. Yeah, I like being with people that I don't feel like they're sucking the energy out of me. Rare. I get real tired real quick, and that's why I like to be home. But I never ever have been like, God, I can't wait till Ma leaves, I'm exhausted. I'm actually like, wait, I'll drive you home so we can cherish every last second together.
I know. Something about us, we're always cherishing every last second together.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
sweet.
I
This is
love us.
really sad.
Well, I think it's kind of beautiful because I know for a fact that that little girl in that cabin, and for you, that girl
At the sleepover, staying
sleepover.
back in the basement,
like at all of the events,
all the
staying
things.
back,
Yeah,
they didn't even know this was coming.
I know.
Or it
Isn't
was
that amazing?
possible,
I
yeah.
didn't think I'd ever have a best friend again past that one
Mhm.
girl, and now I do.
Yeah.
How fun.
Something my mom always says is like she's also been really lucky with female friendship, and she says like at every stage of her life she's been able to make friends through a different avenue, and she was like, I thought after having a kid I would never make like close friends again,
True.
but then you become friends with the other kids' moms, and she's
Right.
like, that is such a special relationship,
And it's like
because
different.
it's different than anything you've had before, because
Yeah.
you're going through this completely transformative time together. So
Yeah.
hopefully we make a lot more best friends, but nothing like this ever, otherwise I'll die.
Yeah, no, me too.
Yeah,
I'll freak out.
I'll freak
out. I might have to move to where you're moving, because
and we need to have like daughters together.
huge on that.
If I have a son, oh my god, I like, can't think about it.
No.
But I'll love him.
If you're watching this, future son, peace and love to you. This was such a fun app.
And we
literally sat down like, oh, we only have like 1 minute worth of story to say. Hour.
LBP, living,
LBP.
breathing pod. I love you.
I love you too. I don't want it to be over, but I guess we could make another one.
1, 2, 3.
Mwah.